Well, welcome. My name is Bill Stasinski. I'm an architect and president of Studio 21 Architects here in Downers Grove, Illinois. And besides that, I'm in the process of designing and building a forever home for myself and my wife. Now, custom home building process, it can get it's a real adventure, and there are a lot of decisions that'll need to be made. And I want to take you through that process, to take you on the journey from start to finish to see how that's all accomplished. And you'll be able to watch how we go from taking our original dream and converting that into reality. And along the way, we'll also have some great little tips for you, some insider tips from industry professionals such as myself. So here we are, episode 1, Design Build Decoded. Let me tell you a little bit about me. Growing up, I knew I always wanted to be an architect. In grade school, I bought a T-square, triangles, scales, all this other stuff in order to design things on paper. But I also wanted to build things. I built forts out of encyclopedia sets. I built skyscrapers using Kenner sets and erector sets. And of course, there were the Lincoln logs for the residential designs. So one year for Christmas, I asked my dad for a toy power tool set. It included a little plastic drill, a little plastic saw, and it was used to cut foam. Instead, my father gave me a set of real power tools and just said, "Be careful and don't cut your fingers off." Well, that was the start of it all. So fast forward to today. I've been an architect for nearly 45 years now. I enjoy helping clients fulfill their dreams of a custom home. I also have a passion for racing cars, and that energizes me as well. So enough about me. This video series, Design Build Decoded, is going to follow the adventures of designing and building a custom home for myself. So let's get started with episode 1, the why. So before we get too far into this episode, I want to let you know that we're actually in the design phase of the process right now. We've got a floor plan developed for the house that's looking pretty good. But before that, there's a lot of work that goes into the whole process, our one-point design build process. So before red pen hits the paper, we have a lot of research to do. So why don't I show you a little bit about what that's all about. This is a roadmap of how it all works. I'll go into more details as we get to them on my own project, but for now, I'm going to focus on these first few steps. It all starts naturally with the welcome, where we meet our potential client for the first time. There's a lot to be said for having a good match between client and architect. It has to be a good fit for us both. Obviously, since I am both the homeowner and the architect, I guess I'm going to be a good fit for myself. Or maybe not. Like the name suggests, gather is where the homeowner starts to organize their ideas, goals, inspiration, and so on. In this step, the client begins to conceptualize their vision. Collecting this information at the beginning really helps bring clarity to the vision for both parties. We then move into the Design Discovery Review, or DDR for short. There's a lot to the DDR, and I promise I'll go into more detail in the next episode, but as a brief summary, the Design Discovery Review is an initial phase of research that we do to investigate the technical aspects of a project, like the site and zoning, as well as personal aspects of what the client wants and needs. Our goal is always to create a design that really works for the people that live there. We call it exceptional design, where you wouldn't change a thing. I guess the best way to sum it up is that it's all about the why. Why are you doing this project? Why now? Why is your current home not working for you? Your vision doesn't have to be fully realized yet. That's where we come in. What we cannot do, however, is answer your why.
Hey, Bill, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What is your why?
Okay, so good question. This really started out as a vision that my wife and I had maybe 10, 15 years ago. And it's really, now that our kids are out of the house and all, it's just my wife and I and our dog Cody. And we want single level living, so a ranch house with accessibility and provisions for the future to be able to grow in the house and grow old in the house together. And that's the basic premise of what we want to do and why we want to do it. But I also have unique needs for myself, which include a large, big ass garage. And so I've kind of jokingly said that when I do a house, it's going to be a small ranch house with a big ass garage. So that's something that you can see my early vision here. So remember when you were a little kid and you would draw with crayons your ideas of what a house is? Well, this is my vision here. As I mentioned, I wanted to do a small ranch house and a small quilting area for my wife and a fire pit for Fire Pit Friday on a Saturday night. And then here's the garage and the whole reason for doing all this with a tow vehicle and a trailer and couple streetcars and 3 race cars, and it all sounds great. I know it would never fly. This isn't really my vision, but it is a kind of just a fun sketch to say, hey, if I had my way, this is what I would do. So I hope you learned a little bit about why the why is so important. So this is just the first in a series of episodes that'll take us from the very beginning all the way through to the housewarming party. And if you like what you've seen so far, please like and subscribe to Studio 21 Architects. And then join us for the next episode, episode 2, which will be all about the lot. That's